podcasts and learn how to rock your digital marketing game. Welcome to We Rock DM Amplified. I'm your host, Daniel Bisett, joined as always by my brilliant co-host and business partner, Tricia Elizabeth Ulberg. Today, we're excited to welcome a very special guest, Olya Sukhopar. And feel free to fix my pronunciation, Olya. Olya has been a part of my professional journey, our professional journey, for quite some time. And it's been incredible watching her grow into the digital marketing powerhouse she is today. Her insights and expertise have made a huge impact in the industry, and I'm thrilled to have her join us to share her story, experiences, and maybe a little bit of advice. Olya, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome, Olya. I'm so excited that you've decided to be our guest. I have been saying for a long time, we've got to get Olya on the show because you are such an inspiration. And we have a lot of students and a lot of people who are trying to build careers in digital marketing that listen to our podcast. And that is one of the many reasons why we wanted you to be our guest, because you have such an amazing story. So thank you so much for being our guest today.
Oh
Yay.
my God, I'm not ready for so many kind words. Thank you so much for
Oh,
having me. I really appreciate it.
no, you're going to do great. And why don't you go ahead and tell everybody how we met?
We met while working for the UT, University of Texas Digital Marketing Bootcamp, where both Tricia and I were teacher's assistant and Daniel was actual lecturer. So, yep, that's
Yeah,
how we met.
yeah. That's how we met. And I
So,
remember telling Daniel at the time, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I'm so glad that Olya gets to be a TA with me. It was just like the best cohort. I just loved that one.
I agree.
yeah,
It was so
in
sweet.
the digital marketing program, I got to call myself instructor. But to be honest, I think it was you guys that gave me the confidence to tackle a lot of the questions and conversations that the students brought, because y'all's expertise is totally different to mine and your stories are all different to mine. And Olya, really today, I want to tease out some of those golden nuggets from your story that might inspire others um, who are in similar places in their lives. When you tell us, I mean, you're from Ukraine.
Correct.
Tell us when you came over to the US and why you came here and what you were doing when you first came across, would you?
So, yeah, definitely. I came to US more than 10 years ago. I was I was 19 and then I turned 20 being in America for a month. I came to US on a student program working in for Six Flags in summer in Texas, Arlington, and I kind of got very curious about the life in the United States and decided that, oh wow, I really want to stay here. I want to study the culture. I would love to go to university, to college, and complete a degree and get a professional experience. So after the summer, me and my friends packed our bags and went to New York to kind of start the journey.
I want
And
you to tell everybody what your first job was when you came to the US and what your
Mhm.
living situation was. I think people need to hear this.
So my first job was on the student program, right? I was a cashier in Six Flags for the funnel cake store. And it was a bit intimidating because there were so many people, and it's my first time being in US. People speaking slang, and I've been studying more like British version of English back in Ukraine, and I needed to talk to all these people, take their money, promote different credit cards, and so on. And so that was my first job being in Texas. But then after moving to New York City, I worked cleaning hotel rooms on Wall Street. So that was kind of my another job. I had so many jobs, honestly, in this past 10 years, but the marketing I enjoy the most. Now, my living situation was when we came. Of course, the housing was provided by the job at Six Flags, but we paid the rent. After we moved to New York City, we kind of had to find where to live with my friends, and we didn't have any money because we signed up for the language school, and all the money went to pay for the language school. So me and my three other friends, we shared a small room. So we rented a room, honestly, very tiny. We had kind of um, two beds up there, air mattresses to be quite frank, which would deflate by the morning. So we needed to wake up and pump them more. And yeah, that was our first house in New York City. But then we were able to save up and get an apartment and share like an apartment together.
Yeah, and I want to point it out to everybody. When Olia says a room, she means a room. She's not talking about an apartment.
No, no,
they
no.
they rented a room in an apartment with other rooms that other people were living in. So there was what, 12 people living in that apartment?
No, no less, maybe like six or
So,
seven,
okay.
but it was
Yeah.
actually a living room. So the room was not even closing. It had this, yeah, it had a divider.
Yeah.
So for us at that point, we didn't even know better. And being young, you don't need much. You wake up very early, you go to work. After work, I needed to go to the language school. So I basically came home to sleep. Um, so that was kind of enough.
Yeah. Yeah. At, at
So,
what
yeah, go ahead, Trisha. Go ahead.
Oh, Daniel, I feel like I'm asking all the questions. I just love the
No,
story.
please. Yeah, please.
I love Olia's story. All right. So, Olia,
Mhm.
at what point did you know that you wanted to get into marketing?
At what point? Well, so after cleaning hotels, then I worked a little bit as a translator because I know a couple languages, and after that, I worked in restaurants, and I was working in restaurants for quite a while because it was the easiest way to save up money and go to college. And I really wanted to go to the school in New York, which is part of City University of New York. It's quite affordable school, but it has really good ratings among the business schools. I knew I wanted to do something in business, but I didn't know yet what. So when I signed up, when I went to school, the first semester, I actually met the people who were selling cookies on the campus, and there was a marketing club, and they were so nice and so welcoming s- that I signed up for the marketing club. And after I got to know them and what they do, and they started to share with me insights on what marketing is, about all the school agencies, I was like, oh wow, this is a madman. Yeah, I want to probably become part of this. So that was like meeting the people those people that influenced me. Shout out to American Marketing Association. Um,
That's awesome.
So, how did you, what steps did you take to get your first marketing job?
what steps did I take? Oh, my first marketing job. I did a lot of free internships before that. So I joined the marketing club, but I still worked in the restaurants couple to pay for school, and I got a free internship. Like I was not paid, so I did it probably for a year and a half or something, or a year or more. It was so. What step? Usually, I would meet people in the restaurants, and there would be our regular customers that would come, and I kind of would make friends with them because I worked in the West Village in New York, which is more like family neighborhood, where you have this regular customers coming. And there was this one lady that I knew she was doing something in business. And I kind of started talking with her, and I was like, do you need an intern? So I kind of signed up myself for the internship, and I started helping her out. And it was in the influencer marketing. Um, so between juggling school to jobs, I started to do the internship as well. and that helped me to get insights on, okay, what is influencer marketing. Then there is maybe other marketing. There is maybe experiential, whatever, and the paid media marketing and email marketing and so on. And I wanted to try other things, so I would sign up for a lot of different free programs online. I would find something, I would find like events, meetups, and find people there to get some experiences. So I started doing that, basically just trying things to understand what exactly I like. And to get my first job, I did all these internships, and they helped me actually to get my first job, doing again like some marketing slash accounting work. So I didn't probably quite yet understood at that point what I was doing with the marketing, but I was trying. And then more seriously, it progressed. So that experience helped me to get the next internship and so on. So, but they were more like paid at that point.
Right. So lots of talking, lots of networking, lots of free internships. So my son is going to be graduating from the marketing with a marketing degree next fall, and he's already told me he's really nervous. It's like, what do I do? I have
Yeah.
my degree. What do I do now? And so how it sounds like you spent quite a few years doing internships. How
Mhm.
important was that to you getting your first marketing job and having the career that you have? Is this something that you recommend to everybody, all students do who have a marketing degree?
I overall I recommend everybody just trying things. I was really hungry, I guess, like I still am. I was very
Yeah.
curious. I really wanted to get these experiences and understand American culture better, to be a part of it. I think because in the college a lot of people knew each other from like high school, so and so on, and I didn't know anyone, and I wanted to belong somewhere. And I guess that was one of the ways for me to find how can I belong, how can I speak the same language they do. So the finding the internships and free resources really helped that. And as well as I started to, I joined the club, right? This American Marketing Association. They had a chapter at our college, so I joined that club. I became a member. I started to be more involved. Then I became a treasurer, and then I became a president of that club. So it kind of also helped me with getting my job. So being having free internship, having internships overall, and also having some doing some work on campus helped a lot too, because we started to do events with the agencies. We started reaching out to New York agencies, asking them for tours. I signed up different hackathons just to go to these agencies to meet people from other schools that also do marketing, and just to, yeah, network as you mentioned, and get to know them better. So I do recommend trying things, not giving up. I know it can be hard when you don't have money, uh, but if you can have like some type of job, working in a restaurant and coffee shop somewhere, and just building these experiences, it will be super helpful. And it's all temporarily.
Yeah.
Just remember that. I know it's difficult in the moment. You feel like you don't have enough energy, you want to sleep. But if you have a goal, a dream, inspiration, something, just keep going, and it's going to work out at the end.
I love that.
So, Olya, from the time you came across for Six Flags
Mm.
and to the time you got your first proper paid job in marketing, what kind of time frame are we looking at?
Oh man, a lot. Because, I had to also figure out all this immigration stuff and changing the visa statuses. So probably like 6 years to get my
Okay.
first like job, and as well as to complete a degree, because I thought that having a degree is very important. in America, I don't have American education. I didn't go here to school, so having some type of degree was important for me, and I was able to get bachelor degree. So that was like my first point for me, and I thought, okay, after that, I can go and start a job. I cannot. With me, I need to learn stuff before doing it. I guess like fully committing to it. So college was that. Yeah, that was the outlet for me to understand if it's actually worth it. Can I do it?
Was it always
Mhm.
your intention to go to college in the United States and have a career here, or did that just start happening naturally as you once you came over to America? Like, what was your plan initially, and did that change at some point for you? Um,
Mm.
how did that go for you?
So initially, that was not the plan. I actually was going to school in Ukraine. I was almost graduating. I would have completed, I actually was going to two schools because you can do that simultaneously. I was studying in two colleges. So my plan was just to come for the summer to practice English and come back. I'm the only child. Nobody wanted me to stay. I just saw a lot of opportunities as a woman, I guess, and I just got very curious, and this was like a interesting challenge. So after working in for some time in America in the restaurants, I understood that I want to move on. This is probably not the limit for myself, and I would love to get high. I would love to get some type of comfort. I would love to help out my family. I would love to grow. I would love to provide like a better future for my potential kids and so on. And yeah, it just happened kind of naturally after this realization.
There's something you just said that I want you to expand on. You said that you saw a lot of potential for women to build careers here in America. So, talk to me about that a little bit. Um,
Mhm.
do you feel like marketing is a good profession for women? And do you think it is easy for women to, I guess,
Succeed.
there's a glass ceiling, right?
Mhm.
What do you think about that in terms of women being able to grow careers in marketing from your perspective?
Why I mentioned that, I feel like, first of all, I think any job is good for women. We can do it all.
That's right.
We're badasses. And why I mentioned that, because growing up, my world was more like, it was more patriarchal society,
Mm,
used to be. Now
yeah,
it's changed, but not coming from a family. I have a single mom who raised me, so my dad unfortunately passed away a long time ago. I just felt like it's really hard. It was hard for me to get the same opportunities in Ukraine at the time as I would get in America. So that's why I kind of mentioned that I saw opportunities for women here. I saw that, there are chief executive officers that are women and so on, and so bigger representation of women in business. And I do feel like marketing is great for women. Anything is great. We can try them all and we can succeed. And male too, and like, everyone basically. It's
yeah.
just whatever you want, you can do it. It's a process and just takes time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. And you are a go-getter. Olia's always trying to drag me out to networking events, and sometimes
Not
she
anymore.
she has to drag me hard.
Not
um,
anymore. I'm a homebody these days. I was to so many networking events over these years that I'm like,
mhm.
okay, maybe reading a book at home is nice.
But you're quite the go-getter, and I agree with you that I really feel like that the opportunities for everybody, but especially women, are
Yeah.
here if you want them, right? I was just talking to my daughter about this last night. She wants to be a music major, and she's really worried about um, opportunities for her once she graduates with a music degree because she says it's super competitive. And I told her very similar things to what you said. Like, if you decide that that's what you want to be, just decide that's what you're going to do and do everything you can. plan on being broke for a long time, especially as an artist, right? I was telling her when I first graduated, I didn't get a graphic design job right out of school. I had to work at the mall while I was doing internships. You know, I was working like retail and I moved myself up to Seattle, and I was working at the mall there while I was going around to companies and trying to get internships and showing them my portfolio. And it took a long time, but I feel like once all it takes is somebody giving you a chance, right?
Yeah.
Somebody giving you a chance. And for me, it was I got this part-time job at an ad agency as a low-level production artist. I think I was making $12 an hour, but I just built on that, right? Like that job led to a contract at Microsoft, and then that job led to my job at ESPN, and then everything just kind of, but
That's
it didn't
awesome.
just happen overnight. I had to work really hard. I think that everybody does, but I think that if you want to do it, you can do it, right?
You can do it. Just show up.
Yeah,
That's one thing. You need to show up as well.
yeah.
You need to. There are so many opportunities right now. I feel like just show up and talk to people, and you will find it. I
Yeah,
Sooner rather than later, you'll find something.
yeah. I agree. You just have to try, right?
Yeah,
It can be hard. It can be
it's
discouraging.
very
It's
hard.
not easy. It is
It
not
is
easy.
very
And
hard.
also you have to plan on failing. It's not like anybody who ended up having the career that they love didn't have failures along the way, like big ones, you
Oh
know?
yeah,
Like how many jobs did we not get? So many.
I love failing. That's my favorite part about life. I learned so much, and yeah,
I've
failing
al-
is great.
I so agree. I've always said, if you tell me that I can't do it, tell me I can't do it. I love that challenge. I had a boss tell me that once. I had a boss tell me that I was not technical enough to learn website design. And so, guess what I decided to do? I decided to be a website designer. I
uh,
love it. I love it
Fun.
when people tell me I can't do
Everybody
something.
has their own motivation. Just find yours.
That's right.
So,
Uh,
Olya, when when COVID happened, you were still in New York, right?
Hmm. Yes.
And what was your job at that time?
Okay, so that's actually 2020 is when I graduated, and it was really hard because COVID happened
yeah.
and everything was shut down, and you needed to find the opportunities or like internship or something or first job after college, and you couldn't because there were none. And before that, I still was working in the restaurants, and then when COVID happened, of course, everybody was shut down, and I found actually a marketing internship, a paid one, and I found a lot of free marketing hackathons, challenges, unpaid free internships over the summer to build my portfolio. So I could still like stay on top of like what's happening in the marketing world. I also can build connections, and I also can build some case studies. So some for example, I signed up for the, it was called Camp Adventure from um, VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University, that they created such a cool program for a lot of students who lost their internships or who couldn't find one during that summer. And they had a case study for us. There was a real client, a Center for Missing and Exploited Children. You get the alerts. That was our client, and we needed to um, kind of build the whole media plan for them and do the whole rebranding and so on. So I worked with the students from around America to build this case, and we then presented it to the client, and there were winners, and unfortunately we didn't win, but it's okay. It was about the experience. So that was one of the experiences I had that summer. Another experience I had is this growth initiative, um, by Kenny Thacker from New York City. He's a great man. and I really appreciate him giving me this opportunity. It was also like signing up with students who didn't have internship that year, who lost one, and we also were given a case study, and there was also like a real client, a non-profit client in New York City, and we needed also to build like a marketing campaign for them. And that was cool because actually we were able to build a free out of home campaign for them, because there was one of the advertisers who would do it for free in New York City. They had some spots around New York, and we could use them to promote our campaign, which was live light, live right. It's for the kids from underrepresented communities that struggle with their health issues. So there was another experience. Then I had a third experience from like some of the agencies also gave like a lot of free internships, but like free internships. So I had like a couple of those. So I kind of juggled all of this and I had kind of some savings to live that summer and get build my portfolio. So starting fall, I actually was able to find like a small job in marketing. I worked for a little bit, then I found like a more full-time job. So yeah, was as I mentioned previously, just was trying to find opportunities and
Yeah.
learn.
And you ended up being a TA in the digital marketing boot camp. So that was
Oh,
another experience you got.
later
And then,
on,
yes.
yes.
And then, so can you share with everybody what you're doing now? What do you do now? What's your
I
job?
I work at Expedia Group in performance marketing, so doing same stuff I used to do
Yeah.
for this past 4 years. I work in paid media.
Very cool. I was excited when Olya told me she was going to work for Expedia. That was one of my first jobs in Seattle. I had a contract with Expedia and I just like to travel, you know. It
Great
was a really
company, great culture
very much so. Yeah,
and
it was awesome. It
experience.
was my one of my favorite jobs.
Love it.
So, very
Well,
cool.
they what is the phrase that you worked for? It sounds like you worked and scraped and uh clawed your way through the last what 6 years so that you could be an overnight success.
Yeah,
um
exactly.
I don't
but
know success. What is success? It's
uh
kind of hard to define.
Well,
I
Olya, you're always, she doesn't like to brag about herself. That's why we're making her do that right now.
I know, yeah,
yeah.
feeling very shy. For me, success is more about, what impact I have on the people's life. What do I do for free? For,
Mhm.
do I volunteer? That's how work is. It's great. Career is amazing. It gives me opportunities. But I really like doing other type of work,
Yeah,
as you know.
Mhm.
I do. I kind of feel like I think like you do both. Like you inspire a lot of people in their careers. That's helping people. You know what I mean? That's definitely what we were doing as TAs in the boot camp. We were helping those students with their career paths. I mean, Daniel too, as an instructor, we were all helping students, and I think that was one of the most rewarding parts of that job, and just teaching in general is the opportunity
Super
to help
nice.
people, right?
Yeah, and they help
Yeah,
us too to
yeah,
learn a lot of things
yeah,
about ourselves.
yeah,
For sure.
absolutely. Yeah. Um, so
So
go ahead, Daniel.
if somebody is a dreamer, maybe maybe not a dreamer uh legally, like, whatever that reference means to be a dreamer brought here as a child, but I mean somebody who has a dream, right? So
Yep.
um but they do come from non-traditional circumstances, like yourself, having come from Ukraine, being a non-native speaker of English, really trying to make a go at carving out your niche here in this space. Do you have any advice for somebody who um, is really struggling right now to see what it's all for? What do you want to tell those people?
Um, just take a good care of yourself. Be gentle to yourself because your health is the most important thing, honestly, and mental health especially. I think it was hard for me, so I definitely sacrificed a lot of things, and it doesn't need to be that way. It might take longer, it might take fast. We don't know, right? But just be gentle to yourself. Uh, because somebody is doing it, it doesn't mean that you need to do it. Just ask yourself truly, what brings you happiness? And it might not be the career or like business, and just do it. If you like, you want to have a big garden, just do a big garden, you know, and start small with one plant. I would say just building a good habits that help you get to whatever you want for yourself is really important. And then, and just staying really kind to yourself as well, because I was not kind to myself and my body at the time, and it definitely, I'm facing it now. So everything has kind of a price. I wish I was more gentle to myself.
That's beautiful.
I know.
I I
Yeah.
don't know. True.
That well that what you're saying is coming from experience, and I know a little bit about your story. Um, but yes, I agree with you. Taking care of your mental health is super important.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's really hard out there. There's a lot of things that can um, I don't know, just life is hard, right? And
Life is hard.
yeah, it is. And that's the thing. I think very often, uh, you know, we'll talk about our successes, of course, because we want to inspire people, and we have, let's pat ourselves on the back here. Oh yeah, we've done okay. We've all done okay, but it's not like we haven't been through a lot of things, right? All of us. You um, having to live here while your home country is at war.
Mm,
You don't have to talk about that a lot if you don't want to.
it's a
But
hard one.
yeah, I know. But you have expressed how difficult that has been for you. You've got friends and family back there that you're constantly worrying about. Um,
Yeah.
that is a stress I can't even fathom. We're pretty lucky here in America. We don't have to deal with that kind of stress. A lot of us don't even comprehend it really. We don't live in countries where we have to think about that. In a country that that has to think about that, and so you have been an inspiration to me. Um, no, seeing what you've done, and you have expressed to me. Here I'm talking for you. You've expressed to me that occasionally you have some guilt that you are living such an amazing life over here while you
Yeah,
have so many friends and family in Ukraine who are
for sure.
in a different circumstance. Do you want to talk?
Survivor's guilt.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that at all, just a little bit?
Yes, definitely. I think that when the war happened and it's still going on, I did have a lot of survivor's guilt, but then I started to think about it differently. I started to look at it under the angle of, okay, does it help the people that are there? My guilt, it doesn't help in any shape or form. What can I do to transform this guilt to something more helpful? And it actually inspired action. And I started to volunteering with a couple nonprofit organizations and doing, marketing, like social media marketing, like customer service or something. So, and of course, working with a therapist that also helped to just work
Yeah.
through all of that. But war has been the most pivotal moment in my life. Not even immigrating somewhere to US, but war. I finally realized what my values are and what is the most important thing in this life. It's not job. It's not money. It's, again, like, if I'm willing to do something on my free time for other people without any compensation, and like that started to bring me so much joy. And I'm glad I was able finally to see that sooner rather than later. But um, now I feel like, also being in America, I see that we're going through a hard period here, tumultuous a bit, and it's important for all of us to find that maybe something in our hearts and just be kind to each other, support each other, volunteer when you can with any type of organization, do something free, and helps you to get somewhere, to another level of being a human in some way. I don't know if I expressed it. Sometimes I'm getting lost in words, especially in English, because I'm getting overwhelmed, because I'm super grateful for this experience. Being it the most painful, I'm very grateful for it. Yeah,
What you've learned is that helping other people is what
it's the
brings true
best thing.
happiness.
It's
Yeah.
just the best thing in the world, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very important. I didn't realize before how important it is.
Yeah.
So, what are the names of two or three organizations that you are currently involved in that you want to give a shout out to?
So I would love to give shout out to one, because the other two, they were like two initiatives that we kind of built with my friends and stuff.
Mm.
So one for them is Razum for Ukraine. It's a big nonprofit in America. They do a lot of advocacy, humanitarian job, cultural job, and I'm super grateful for being able to be a part of that organization and meeting such an incredible people, and yeah, learning so much about nonprofit world.
Okay, well, we'll get the link from you and add it into
Thank
the
you.
show notes after. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
that's
appreciate
great.
it.
Yeah. Very cool. Ah, so inspiring. Olia is just like one of the best people I know. You just are.
You are too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, it's been really great speaking with you, Olya. Is there anything else that you would like to share with the people who are out there looking to move into this space? Or I mean, you've covered the be good to yourself bit, which I did not see coming, and I
Oh
think
no.
it's beautiful. Is there some type of action that uh, others coming into this space should try to take in order to a be good to themselves, but b maybe find that career path that
Sure.
has been eluding them?
Yeah, definitely. I so the career path. Use all the free resources you can, of course, with a grain of salt. But I learned so much from just watching YouTube about paid media. I do a lot of paid media right now, so I started to follow in experts. I got books. You can get them in the library. You can get them through the Libby app for free. You don't need to invest much. Just follow people on LinkedIn if you want to boost your skill set. Connect with them. That was super helpful for me. I just love learning, so that's kind of part of my personality. If you're like me, there is a lot of things to learn out there, um, but just try things. My advice is just try things, see if they fit, and if they don't, it's okay to let it go. You don't
Mhm.
need to keep pursuing it if you're not enjoying it, if it doesn't come naturally. It's it's going to be so hard to continue doing that. And I know, sometimes you need money, but if there is an opportunity for you to switch to something else which will also pay money and will help you live comfortably, please do that.
It's
Good
brilliant.
advice.
Beautiful.
Good advice.
Thank you.
Well, Olya, it's been wonderful having you. I always enjoy talking to you, and thank you so much for sharing just the smallest piece of your incredible story. It is very inspiring.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
I
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much, Olia.
Thanks for tuning in to the We Rock DM podcast. We hope you found our discussions on digital marketing and web design and development helpful and informative. Don't forget to follow us on social media and subscribe to our podcast to stay up to date on the latest trends and strategies in the world of online business. We'll see you in the next episode of We Rock DM, where we make kick-ass stuff kick-ass.